Hey everyone, and I hope you all are having or have had a great Friday. Welcome to Breakthrough with Jeff. Once again, this is a place where we live life with zero limits. And so today I am very excited to bring a great topic, something that affects all our lives, and to have Jeff once again answer and share with us this wisdom or nuggets on this topic. And so, Jeff, Karibu, I hope today
Thank
you
you.
had a lovely day. I know you're in Nairobi and
It's
it's chilly
cold.
there. It's cold there.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I think that's a good thing because I hope the cold is ready to keep you awake and alert for the conversation that we have today.
Yes.
And so just to kick this off, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mary Iro, and today I will be moderating a conversation with Jeff around how to overcome fear. Now, we our younger age, we really don't have that much fear, but as we grow older, fear starts to setting into our lives, and it is fear that sometimes impedes us from doing so many of the things that we want to do. And so getting the opportunity to really understand how we can overcome these fears is one of the best things we can do for ourselves to lead us to that life that we want, that life that we should be living. And so, Jeff, to kick this
Yes.
off today, I
Mm-hmm.
want to walk you through a story of a moment of fear that I had, and
Mm-hmm.
how I overcame it, which was almost by force. But I want that to be the start of our conversation as we delve into
Awesome.
fear.
Awesome.
So, last year, in the midst of the pandemic, I was living in Delaware in US, and
Mm-hmm.
it just so happens that as part of my job, I had to move to Texas. Now, because we're not taking flights, that drive alone was going to take me about 24 hours. Now, in the
Mm-hmm.
past, I've never driven by myself for 24 hours. The maximum has always been about 4 to 6 hours. And so I was
Wow.
horrified. I was so afraid. And on top of that, I had to pack up my apartment all by myself. I'd never disassembled a bed. I'd never had to, disassemble my furniture, pack everything. And all of a sudden, in the midst of the pandemic, I found myself having to do it all alone. And it's not that I couldn't do it, the fear of being able to do it alone really set in. Now, what was
Mm.
interesting is because I didn't have a choice and because I didn't have anyone to assist me, slowly by slowly, I had to just do these things. And all of a sudden, here I was with all my belongings, driving 24 hours in a course of 2 days from Delaware to Texas. And guess
Mm.
what? I did it. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Nice.
and what was quite interesting from that experience is when I look back, I had to ask myself, what was I afraid of? Like, what was so
Yes.
hard there? Like,
Yes.
driving 24 hours is most just like driving 4 hours, just taking little steps. Like, I can drive 4 hours today, 4 hours tomorrow, or 6 hours today, 6 hours. Like, I could not believe what exactly I was fearing. And,
Yeah.
and so, what I wanted us to start off is you've heard my story about fear and how I overcame it, and it's opened my mind. But let's start with talking about fear. What is fear? What is this thing that we feel that just makes us petrified?
Yeah. Well, so thank you so much. Thank you, Mary, and thank you for having me in this breakthrough show. I'm so excited, and the topic you've picked today is really amazing. Amazing because most of us, what stops us is actually fear.
Yeah.
Most people are stopped by fear. The fear has stopped more dreams than anything else. Human beings, we are afraid because we want to be sure. You see, you've never, anything that is new brings a sense of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Any territory that is new brings a
Ooh.
sense of uncertainty. And that's
Mm.
why now, okay, I'm not sure. And because human beings, we want to be sure. Anything that is new will challenge you. And
Mm.
fear is there asking you, are you ready?
Yeah. I want to repeat something as you continue with that thought, and sorry for
Yeah.
interrupting you. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's very important that we really emphasize anything that is new will always cause you fear because of
Yes.
the uncertainty around it.
Yes. Exactly. Mary, because, and that's okay. That's okay. So don't make destiny decisions on fear just because something, you know, you are uncertain about. Because people, okay, you're afraid to take, you know, it's something new, you're afraid to take action, and then you stick there for a day, that's okay, 2 days, maybe a week, a year, you're still on the same spot because you're terrified. And then now the fear gives you the opportunity now to tell your story. What story or interpretation do you have of this moment? As you say, okay, I'm not cut out for this, I'll never make it. So now you blame fear, but then fear fear is a messenger. Fear is telling you you've never experienced this before, and that's okay. You know, it's asking you, are you ready? And that's okay. But then our own interpretation is something is wrong with me. I am weak. I am, you know, I'm not enough. I don't deserve it. It's
I'm not
mine.
capable.
Yeah, I'm not capable. You know, whether it's a relationship, a job, something you're pursuing that is new, you're going to experience fear. Fear will be waiting for you. Now, it's good to make peace with fear. Because, yeah, if you're going to grow, that's an awareness. If you're going to grow, every new level will bring a certain, you know, level of fear. Every new level. And never be lied to people that tell you, oh, for me, I never feel afraid. No, if it's something new, hey, I'm telling you, that's a lie. All of us, if something is new, okay, there are some of us, because we are experiencing most of the things, you think we are like that with everything. No. In fact, I work with CEOs that are very confident at work, but at home, they're afraid of even their kids. Sometimes even their wives, you know.
Hey.
Yeah. Someone is, and you find life is like that. You're going to build a certain level of certainty in some areas of your life that will always, as long as you're here and your feet is above the ground, there will always be challenge and something that invites you, that terrifies your heart a little bit. And that's okay. That we'll be talking about maybe later, how you can relate with fear. But let's begin by just understanding that it's okay for you to be afraid. It's a natural human response because it's something new. It's a natural human response. It's okay for you to feel the heart beating.
Yeah.
Because you're proposing and you've never proposed to anyone before. Yeah?
Yes.
So when it's okay to shake and feel, and it's okay. It's a normal human response. But then what you do with it, because fear can stand for two things. Fear can stand for false expectations appearing real.
False expectations appearing real, okay?
Yeah, F-E-A-R.
Mm-hmm.
Fear can also stand for face everything and rise.
Ooh, I like that.
F-E-A-R.
I like that. Face everything and rise.
Yes. So fear becomes like a messenger or an assistant to help you face everything, and is giving you messages of, you're not ready, Jeff. You're not ready here. Prepare. So when you feel fear, take action. Ask yourself, what action am I invited into? Let's say it's the fear of public speaking. You're not ready. Prepare. Let's say it's the fear of making a proposal. Call a coach that maybe, or someone that has done proposal before. Ask, you know, how does it? I don't know why I'm talking about proposal. Did someone propose to you, Mary?
No, not yet. Maybe, but I'm welcoming you into my life.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm going there. But anyway, anything new, when you feel a sense of fear, the answer is take action.
Ooh, so I want to pause there just for a second. So one of the first ways we are hearing from you right now is one of the first steps that can help us face fear is take action. And I think you say two things: take action and prepare. Do you want to say it's take action and then prepare as well, or is it take action and prepare? Would you call those two separate
Preparation,
things?
yeah. Preparation is an action.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So I want you to look at fear as a messenger. Don't look at fear as an enemy. Why? Your body, your emotions, the emotions in your body are messengers telling you about either the future or how you feel or maybe something that has happened. So your body mechanism works with all these messages that tells you to do something or to prepare or whatever. So fear is one of those messengers. Don't treat it as your enemy. You can use fear. Now, most people on the planet, they don't use fear. Fear uses them. Fear
True.
uses them. Yeah, so fear has taken over your life. You are totally grounded by fear. That is not God's will for giving us the emotion of fear. The emotion of fear is actually important in your life, because if it were not for fear, the economies of this world would have collapsed. And people say, okay, we don't want to do this because we're afraid if we do this, we'll get these results. Okay? The economies would have collapsed, and some of us would be crazy. I mean, fear gives is a message of a warning, or so if you make use of it, your life, you better your life. There's a place for fear. It's not an enemy. You have to believe that fear is not an enemy, and actually dance with fear.
Fear. And you know what? I think that that's the perspective that many people miss. Whenever we see fear, all we want to do is turn around, because
Yes,
we believe, and I think that that was the same situation with me. We believe that fear is there to defeat my progress, fear is there to hinder me, but we never sit down and say, oh, wow, this is something I'm fearful of. Wow, this
exactly.
means it's something uncertain, it's something new, and perhaps trying it could actually change something, and taking some action or preparing could actually change it. So it's, I think one of the other things that I'm hearing from here is look at fear from a different perspective, and that perspective is fear is a messenger, and what is it telling you, and
Yes.
and use that to actually as a positive light, that, oh, I'm fearful, this is actually something good for me, and what is it telling me?
Yeah. Now the challenge there, Mary, is that the world has disconnected. We are so disconnected from ourselves.
Yeah.
And so even when you're afraid, you look at it as, something external that has nothing to do with you. So you don't really get the message.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
disconnection, we also need to make use of fear. We have to connect within. We have to be intuitive. We have to
So
make use of, yeah.
to
Go
me,
ahead.
as much as we say that fear is a messenger, it only becomes a messenger if we connect with it, if we're able to take
Yes.
time to reflect and not look at
Yes.
it as an external, something that is external.
Yes. It's not. It's actually a messenger from within. And I know people have worked with someone preparing for the Olympics,
Yeah.
and he tells me the way he feels as the gun goes, it's
Yeah.
total fear. But
Yes.
the guy told me the reason he wins the medals is because fear actually pushes the guy. The energy, he feels the heart beating, he
Yeah.
can see the wind, and he's afraid. He's afraid of missing or being second or something. So that fear is the motivation. You see, someone else will say, because of this fear, I'll not do it. Someone else will say, because of this fear, I can't help but
Yeah.
win. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
fear can support you. fear can also crush you. Most people are crushed by fear. Yeah,
Yeah, that is
yeah.
so true. That
And
is so
there's an
true.
expectation. I mean, there's a reason to about 360 something times from the good book, the Bible, God tells you, do not be afraid, because fear, God expects fear to be there. It will be there, but don't let it control your life. Use it. Face it with confidence. Go through it. Dance with fear. Ask it questions. Where are you leading me? Where are we going? What do I need to do? Connect from within. I don't know how many people are intuitive enough to hear messages from within, but some of us have lost that. You said it when we are starting. This was, it was flowing when we were children. As we grow up, we become disconnected from ourselves.
Ah, that is so true. That is so
Yeah,
true.
a child can tell you, and actually, even I think human beings are becoming even more disconnected than animals. An animal can know, a dog can know when there is danger, can know and prepare. The story of earthquakes and
Yeah,
the fact that 1 hour to an earthquake, all
a
the dogs
dog.
have moved from that village,
Yes,
and
yes.
human beings
That's
are asleep
so,
dreaming.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh my.
intuition will protect you. But then also, don't judge fear so much. Fear is a messenger. Invite it, dance with it. So in terms of breaking through to your ideal life, you can use fear, or fear can stop you. Yeah, fear can stop you, especially if you have very high need for certainty. You have very high need to be sure of yourself. So again, another thing, if you need another point I can give you is lower your need for certainty. Elevate your need for uncertainty.
Yeah.
And uncertainty is when you're open to, okay, whatever God is leading me, whatever this is leading me, I'm open.
Yeah.
That is uncertainty. And to me, if you ask me, Mary, the quality of your life is determined by the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one. That's a good one.
yeah,
Because and the reason I
yeah.
agree with that is because the amount of uncertainty you can live with equals the amount of fear you're ready to overcome. That is
Well
it.
put.
So
Nailed
it's
it.
like it's exactly that. It's exactly
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So
Oh,
so this is how we were created to live fearless. It's so amazing because people that are fearless are people that live with fear, and they allow fear to be not just an opponent, because if you resist fear, fear will persist.
yes, that
If
is
you
true.
allow, whatever you resist will persist. If you allow fear to work with you, ask it questions. Just put, where is fear in your body? Put your hand there. Ask, how are you serving me? What is your positive intent in my life? Oh, okay, Jeff, you're not ready. You're going to hear the message, because the truth is there. Your heart will speak to you. The intuition in your heart, you trust that. Trust yourself. Trust yourself, and then give your hand to fear. Dance with fear.
Yeah.
The next level will be now growth, because past fear will actually cheer you to growth
Yes,
and
yes.
transformation. But
And
you
I
have
think
to
everyone.
pass through the stage of fear.
Yes, that is so true. And I think that that's the one thing that I believe everyone, every single person who has fear has
Yeah.
had to, whether willingly or unwillingly, go through fear. And I think the
Yes.
best way to be able to connect with fear equals to growth is by really understanding that at some point, once they pass that fear, they were actually able to see growth. And I think if there's anything that we can take away is everyone to just take moments to really ask themselves, was fear really equals to growth, or did it really impede them? And I think they'll be able to connect with that.
Yes. Perfect. Is it
Yeah.
serving me?
Yeah.
Or is it crushing me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very important for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I
Awesome.
think, and so I think, as we start to wind down, Jeff, there's a great story about you back in 19 years old when you had to be a Toastmaster. I mean, you had to lead a public speaking session. And for everyone who's trying to figure out what I'm talking about, it's one of his first YouTube videos in his channel where he talks about
Yeah.
how he overcame his fears. But you were 19 then, and now you are XX years. I probably don't want to say that out loud for
Very
everyone.
old.
Hey, you're not old. You say that. I am forever young, and so and you're forever young as well. I think
Yeah.
old is a state. Old is a state of mind. Old is a state of mind. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it is. I'm
But
41. Can you
hey,
imagine?
claim it.
Yeah.
Hey, think of it, Jeff. Every successful person in this world, we know their age. So the first step, even if it's the only thing you'll ever do, is be proud and confident of your age, and out loud. That's okay. That's part of you. But anyway, going back to you. So you were 19. You're not 41. You've had a chance to start your own coaching. You've had a chance to grow it. I think I'd like you to share with us along the trajectory of your career, or just really your life. Because sometimes we focus on one aspect, an area where you experienced fear, and how you felt and how you approached it. And I think the reason I want you to share this is just to give us that personal connection with who is Jeff, but at the same time, how does Jeff deal with these things? Because you don't feel like, oh, Jeff is a superpower. Does he ever deal with these things? So I think it'll be great for you to share that with us.
Let me tell you, Mary, I'm a superpower, and so are you.
Oh, look, you know what? You got me. You are so right. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Indeed.
Yeah, we are. But let me tell you, every breakthrough, I talk about breakthrough so much. And the first one was the one you talked about, the call to the podium or to public speaking. I was invited there by someone that, then at that moment I would have hated, because they called me out of the comfort zone, the place of my certainty, where I was just seated with other teenagers. But I was called out to come and give a speech that I wasn't prepared for. And the way my body was just giving way. In fact, I could not feel parts of my body. I don't know whether you've ever been there where, okay, all right, where am I going? You can't feel parts of your body, but you're moving. And for me, that was a defining moment. And I heard a voice in my heart that this is the defining moment, and this will define you. Whether you're going to it's going to cripple you, or you're going to create something big out of this. And I remember making a joke out of it, of course, after shaking. And this is the thing. I realized fear serves you all the way to the podium, all the way to your place of glory. Fear will shake you, but it's preparing you. Fear is not there to hurt you. It's to prepare you. Fast forward, like tomorrow I've been invited. I'm speaking in a meeting that I tell you, up to this moment, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm pretty, because I've spoken in so many events, now fear has served me. I'm ready to speak anywhere. Okay. When I was starting coaching, there was no coaching in Kenya, zero coaches. And I was so afraid to start something new. I was terrified, especially now that you have a family to feed and all that. Fear really almost crippled me. But then I remembered my victory with fear and where I started at 19 years old. And I was encouraged to move on and to face it and to dance with fear and to be ready to fail. I remember giving myself the permission to fail. I even had a ceremony where I told myself, Jeff, fail. Because one of the things that makes people to be crippled by fear is perfectionism. When you think that things have to be a certain way, things have to be perfect, or you're not going to do it. For me, I was ready to fail, and I failed myself through. And so when you're ready to fail, I realize fear steps behind you. It doesn't oppose you anymore. But when you're a perfectionist, everything you're checking, everything, and it's because of the need for certainty that we become perfectionists, then fear can really cripple you. So there are many occasions, getting married, all those were moments of fear. Getting my children, fear plus joy and love,
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
these are emotions. People call them negative emotions. They are emotions of power. They're emotions of message. They are messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
So for me,
great.
I've learned to use fear when I
And
feel
that's why we
my heart,
then
and I
this is
feel
something I should
tremor.
use.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know breakthrough. That's a sign of breakthrough.
Breakthrough. Okay,
Yeah.
great, Jeff. I think that this has been a great conversation. I want us to just start off by, close off by recapping some of the key points that we've talked about, just to be able to bring everything full circle and put it front of mind for everyone. So, our first understanding of fear is we'll always face fear in times of uncertainty, in times when we are expecting something new. And what we should start off by asking ourselves is changing our perspective on fear. And fear is a messenger. But the only way we can hear the message that fear is giving us is to be able to be in tune with it, to be able to sit still, connect our external feeling with our internal feeling, and asking ourselves, what is this fear telling me? Like, what is a positive attribute, and what is it trying to show me? But then once we've been able to come in connection with fear, then the next step for us is to take action. And one of those actions you've given us an example is to be prepared, and I think you've also reminded us today that growth comes from a point of fear. It is once you've gone through fear, then you've been able to, then you start growing. And to just constantly remind ourselves that the process of growth requires fear as part of it, and that all those people that we see out there who are actually successful, they too have gone through fear. But you can either look at fear as a motivator, or you can give in and turn your heels and face another direction. It's really going to be up to you to determine, because fear is going to be in your life, as long as you continue the rest of your life. It's going to be part. It's an emotion, and you think you've brought it full circle. It's an emotion, a spiritual emotion that's allowed as part of our lives, and so it's really how we are going to use it. And I think what you've really been able to bring full circle is to be able to be succeed in everything is to lower our level of needing to be certain. And I think that's very key as we think about overcoming fear, because it is that desire of certainty that is causing us fear. If we can lower our and just be open to flowing, just be open to taking the next step, then we can be able to actually overcome fear. And so I think, Jeff, if I understood correctly, those are some of the key points that we've talked about today. It's great to hear your personal story as well, for just to give us another point of reference for us to connect on fear. And I don't know if you have anything else. Otherwise, I think that's it for today.
That's awesome. I mean, your summaries are just beautiful. They are point on.
Thank you.
My encouragement to everyone listening right now is it doesn't matter what you're going through right now. There is a message there. Everything has been planned. Life never just happens. Life happens for a reason, and you've been prepared to overcome this. If you give yourself permission and work with fear instead of working against or resisting fear. Fear is a messenger. Go for it. Do it even when you feel afraid.
Do it afraid.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Jeff, so much. And everyone who's enjoyed,
Thank you,
feel
Mary.
free to leave any questions in the comment box that you'd like. We'll make sure that Jeff has his contact information there should you want to reach out to him. Feel free to subscribe to Jeff's Breakthrough with Jeff. And there are so many other videos out there. This is just a second part around fear. You can be able to see Jeff's story, which is probably one of the first videos on this channel, to really be able to understand how he overcame fear in his life. And until next week, thank you very much, and everyone enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Jeff, once again.
Thank you, Mary. Goodbye.
Goodbye.